Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about the three most anticipated games for me that I have on my shelves that I've already played at least once that I, right now, am really anticipating getting back to the table again. The first of them is a Stonemaier game. I'm going to include Stonemaier games in this list when it is appropriate, and that is very much the case for Origin Story. Origin Story is our new game that, and I know this seems self-promotional, but this is very real. I really, really do love this game and want to get it back to the table a lot. I've taught it a lot recently. I think one of the reasons I want to get it back to the table is that it is very easy to teach. It is at its heart a trick-taking game with a tableau building, engine building element, and there are so many combinations of cards in this game that build that tableau and then lead up to a big superhero reveal. And even just the random hand of cards. One of the things I love about trick taking is that you get this random hand of cards and you get to try to do your best with that hand of cards. In this game, you're deciding, do I want to be a hero and win as many tricks as possible based on this hand of cards, based on my abilities, or do I want to be a villain this round and try to lose as many tricks as possible? You have to lose all the tricks and not win any tricks if you want to pull off a 4-point villain round. That is a fun choice every round. It makes every round feel fresh and new, especially with the accumulating abilities that you have in this game. I've genuinely had a blast playing it. It's always fun to play a prototype of a game over and over again to play test it, but to play the real final version of the game just feels really good. I love introducing it to people. I love teaching this game. So this is one very new game that I am really excited to play again and again. And I've played it at least half a dozen times in the published form already. So that is Origin Story, number one. Number two, and these are in no particular order, other than maybe like when they were released. Number two is Apistocracy. So this is a game about climbing the social ladder in Victorian England, and the designer of the game is also the illustrator of the game. I really love the feeling of the illustrations in this game. There's a lot going on in this game that I really enjoyed, but at its heart, I think the reason that I want to come back to it again, I really want to introduce this to other people and get it back to the table, is this idea that over the course of the game, you are doing very light deck building with a hand of playing cards. Actually, not all that, unlike Origin Story, maybe this is just what I'm into right now. With a fairly standard deck of playing cards. Some of the cards have slightly special abilities, but for the most part, it's a fairly standard deck of playing cards. You're doing deck building with those cards, and you're using those cards to gain access to different actions on the board. There's engine building, there's some ways to get points, there's things to climb this social ladder. You can't really see it on the box, but there's a giant social ladder, beehive-like element on the board that you're climbing up. You're using this deck building, these cards, to gain access to those spaces, and you're getting new cards into that deck as you do in deck building. And the biggest hook to this, even though it is only maybe a third or a fourth of the points that you get, is that at the end of the game, you finish the game, and then with those cards that you've gained over the course of the game, you shuffle them up, you draw 7 of them, and that forms a hand of whist, which is kind of the most bare bones trick-taking game. So very few rules to actually learn to play whist. So there's a game of whist in this box of Apistocracy. And so this idea that I've been using these cards the entire game to do things that feel really good, and then I use those cards that I've used to kind of craft my deck and craft my hand, I use them to play a hand of whist for even more points at the end of the game. It just felt really good, and it made me want to play again and to share with other people, to show them that beautiful magic trick of playing this game so you can then use what you did in this game to play another very short game at the end of the game to score more points for this game. So yeah, Apistocracy has really been in my head since I played it, and I really look forward to playing it again. I definitely anticipate doing that. The last game on the list is the oldest game on this list, but it isn't all that old. This is Windmill Valley. And this game has one of my favorite mechanisms in games that I've seen in far too few games. I originally found it in Sulkin, and it's been in a few other games over the years, but in this game, it uses these gears that you have. They are your player map, essentially. This is how you select actions in the game. You turn the dial every round a certain number of times. You have some control over how far you're moving the dial. That impacts some other things on the board. You turn this dial, and where the arrows, showing something very small here. There are 2 arrows here. They're pointing at 2 different sections on this dial. Those are the actions you can take. You choose one of those actions, and you take one of those actions. There are some special bonuses that let you take both of the actions. That in itself is really cool, this evolving action system. And one of the dials is slightly smaller than the other one, so you're not going to match up the same 2 things every time you turn the dial all the way around. But the thing that makes this even better is that you can upgrade those actions. You can switch them out. You can swap them. If you find that you're not using an action very often, you can swap in another action that you're planning to use more often. And oftentimes the things that you're swapping in are more powerful. They're better. This feels really good. Like, this is a very, very satisfying action selection system. It ties in with a bunch of other things that I will have to relearn a little bit because it's been a little while since I played Windmill Valley, but I love that action system. And so I really do anticipate playing this again and having a great time with it. I'm very much looking forward to playing Windmill Valley again. Before I close out this video, I do want to let you know some context because this is a brand new type of video that I'm trying out. And it is kind of an answer to a recent blog post that I wrote about videos that talk about anticipation and games that we're anticipating playing. And this often happens around like convention season, like right before Gen Con or right before Essen Spiel, where you'll see content creators creating videos about the games that they anticipate from that convention. But I thought I'd put a little twist on it because whenever I rarely watch those types of videos because I want to hear content creators share their opinions on based on their experiences of actually playing those games, not the hypothetical of what those games might be. And so I thought I'd focus on the games in my collection, the games that I have played that I am really excited about playing again, the games that I anticipate playing again in the near future. I wanted to see if that is equally as interesting or as intriguing or as I don't know, yeah, as interesting as a video about hypotheticals, about games that I haven't played, because I'm not really interested in talking about that. I want to talk about the games that I have played and the things I love about those games and why I want to play them again. So let me know your thoughts, whether it's on this video or on the next few. I'll try a few of these. If this form of anticipation is interesting for you, anticipation based on games that I've already played and that I really want to play again. So let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you're anticipating playing again. If you have played a game, whether it's recently or whether it was a long time ago, and you are just eager to get it back to the table, tell me why you anticipate getting that game back to the table and what game that is. Thanks.